welcome back to another week of the Fireside Tales with Indigo. That's me. We are pretty much near the end of this first story arc with the Sunless Citadel. It's a series of adventures called The Tales from the Yawning Portal. We've been playing through this first adventure. There's several more adventures to go, and then we'll see what kind of shenanigans await after that. Having an intrepid group of adventurers that have been going through and facing all of the minions and monsters within this Sunless Citadel. So, I think we're going to go ahead and just dive right back into where we picked off last week. We were able to finally get to that final battle with Belak, the Outcast, the Twisted Druid. It was definitely an interesting battle. Could have gone in several directions, and I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Our heroes were able to stop the druid and his minions, and now stand before this Gulthias tree, with the end of their quest in sight. So let's go ahead and get them over there, and we'll get us over there as well. You guys will be able to find yourself in the bottom right corner of this map. I'll go ahead and shift ping you over here.
Thank you.
I'm really glad I didn't eat that mushroom after he told us what they did.
Yeah, you guys real lucky you did not do the normal adventurer thing and stick something strange into your mouth.
That would have
Sounds
gone.
like a euphemism.
That would have gone poorly indeed, sir. It turns out that those mushrooms were part of a plot to basically turn any kind of creature who consumed them into a mindless zombie in the service of Belak the Outcast. The Gulthias tree itself is able to do something similar. And it did that to these two beings, these two minions, and watching this process and assisting in this process, Belak was able to learn how to use his own knowledge of spores and mushrooms and his own connection to nature through the onset of decay and the molding process and some of the things that those spores can do. As they can do in our own world, very similar to that the mushroom spore that will take over an ant and drive it to heights of a tree and sprout nasty things out of its head and spread more of these spores across the forest. It's actually a pretty interesting process, but kind of seriously scary at the same time. Anyway, so these guys were actually able to stop this plot, so definitely hurrah and cheers from the crowd to these heroes, because that would have been a nasty fate to anyone in the surrounding area. So picking right back up, we have a bunch of dead folks hanging out around here. What do you guys want to do here?
I want to check out I guess, pretty much just find out what the hell they were wearing and see what we can find to collect from the bodies of, I guess, the two adventurers and, well, whatever got left behind when what's his name turned to dust.
Okay. Go ahead and make some investigation rolls, whoever wants to do that.
Also, how far did this because as far as I know, how far did this tree actually burn?
It definitely had some scarring. It had some definitely has some good scorch marks going up the trunk of the thing. It looks like it's something that it could regrow out of without too much trouble.
Is there anything that stands out with this tree? Is there like a pulsing evil branch or something that shows? Because I'm pretty sure this tree was grown, so.
It was, and it grew from these mushrooms that originally grew here, they did have the phosphorescent kind of element to it, and then once Belak arrived, he was able to kind of transform them from their previous state, into his own creation. There is this, which I neglected to show you guys last week. So that is what the tree looks like.
Can we see if there's should we roll investigation? But can we see where the stake was like laid, or is that totally invisible or invisible, or like already like deep inside the tree?
Roll a nature check.
I'm with him. I'll help you, Alandro.
Okay. Roll that with advantage.
Oh, one more time then.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, you just, a 15 is good enough for you. You would definitely surmise that the way that this tree is grown, if there was some kind of a stake that the original tree rooted, that some part of that wood was what took root, and then the rest of this tree would have grown out from that, and then around, any kind of metal encasing the stake from that point.
Okay.
So, you guys have this giant black and twisted tree before you.
What did Yin Yang find?
Probably not a lot.
Did I find anything?
Indeed. From over there, where were you searching?
Oh, you're right. I should have moved my guy. But I was trying to search dead people too.
Okay.
I don't know if I found any views.
Well, then I guess essentially me and Gok are looking together.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially that 16 will be the advantage on that one. You see for Sir Bradford, you can definitely see that his sword, like when he was using it, it almost seemed like it had some sort of a blue aura to it when the magic started flashing, and he was able to use that to smash the priest's warhammer with ease. So that is definitely, laying on the ground next to him. At the moment, it's not glowing. It's just a very nice looking sword that seems to be kind of hanging out there.
I do know Grybek.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I do know Grybek might want his hands on that after what it did to his hammer.
Slightly scared about it. He would talk about bringing it down, so I'm not entirely sure I want him to have it.
It's true. He was doing that, and that might make it destroy the magic unless it was done properly. So, he is also wearing some finely wrought chainmail. You can tell that it doesn't seem to have taken too much, damage. It has kind of maybe suffered a little bit from continual use. You can imagine as a zombie tree person that he never really took this off. So, but it definitely does seem to be in good quality. And that's all you can really find on him. His shield is also of a nice quality as well. On Sharwin, you do find a ring that actually matches the ring that Gok is wearing.
Oh.
And you can tell that this one was designed and sized for a female hand, while yours is definitely of a more, just kind of a masculine style.
Is this what I think it is? Indigo.
You said he had chainmail and what was his shield?
Just like it was a standard shield. It does look like it's really well made. You could try to test it for magic if you like. What
I
was
was
your...
just getting it down for the notes.
Okay. What was your question, Doc?
Were they married or something? Because I feel like I took.
Your adventurer rings, Gok. There's a good chance they're not married and it's just the symbol of their adventuring company.
Oh.
They could be married though.
Yeah, and I'm just saying there's just as likely a chance that it's just their,
It probably
party
is
symbol.
just as likely as it's the thing about it. Okay.
I feel like precious stones in your rings are still, like since the beginning, since people found precious stones, it's still a thing. Mostly when you get
I'm
married.
gonna take that ring just to make this a set, honestly.
Okay.
Put on the same hand. Just,
Roll an intelligence check.
oh. Okay.
Brasnic, go ahead and roll 1 too.
All right.
Okay, that was the wrong thing. Oh, wait, no, that was.
Okay.
18.
You've actually, despite your limited encounters with the outside world, some of the more powerful members of the evil army that you were a part of, mostly in a slave or servitude sort of a role, but you were allowed to be in some of the inner circle sort of meetings as a minion, and you saw rings like this, of different cut, different design, things of that, but you think that this might also be some sort of a family heraldry, like a family crest.
Not to any of the evil people that I know of. Right?
No.
Yes.
No,
Similar
the
design.
the heraldry itself doesn't seem to be familiar, but you think perhaps they were related somehow.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm still gonna put this ring.
I'm still gonna loot her.
I'm still gonna loot. Come on.
I don't know if this was her casting focus or not, but she did use a wand in Tangle.
Indeed. So you also see there is a you think that the ring's probably worth around 20 gold pieces or so. There's also a clasp on her robes, kind of holding her cloak together, that is does seem to be some sort of a gold pendant sort of a thing. You think that one's probably worth about 10 gold pieces. That one also has the Hukriel family crest.
I'll give that to Brasnic if he wants it. Take it.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, we can divvy this back up at the inn if y'all want to. I'm kind of just taking a census of everything that we've gotten so far.
Yeah, fine with me. But
Wait, I
for
just
sure.
realized, aren't we kind of trapped, guys?
I mean, there's a fire behind us. I'm sure there's another way out.
Oh no!
You
I'm
guys
just
actually
amazed.
don't
You gotta remember the dragon came from there.
You guys actually don't see a glow from the fire or hear the crackling of flames.
Oh. Problem solved.
Yeah, see, ice dragon came from where fire was, so I don't imagine there's fire anymore.
I mean, he could have just flown over it. But alright. Anyways, besides that, we should probably either hack or burn this tree down.
No doubt. Can I look specifically at her gauntlets?
Alardro,
'Cause I
just
saw
turn
them-
back already.
Saw her using them to block with. Is there anything special about her gauntlets?
They do seem to be some sort of combat-related gauntlets. They have little slots that run down the palm, and it actually seems to be where you see two wands are mounted. and it actually the where the wand would sit actually goes down the wrist a little bit, like on the inside of the arm. So it actually seats the wand inside there, so you can use your hand to cast spells or grab a hold of the wand and use the wand's magic. So they do seem to be some sort of battle gauntlets, but they seem to be designed specifically for holding wands and being able to cast magic and use these wands at the same time.
Still gonna take them off her, and I guess add them to the pile, because I imagine if anyone's gonna use the wand, they could probably get use out of.
Okay.
I'm gonna just knock over the tree. I'm gonna go up to the tree and just start like pushing it over if I can, like breaking it.
Okay. Let's get back to that in 1 second. So, you do see 2 wands in these gauntlets as you're taking them off of her. You see one of them seems to almost looks like an extremely rigid vine, and it has like leaf patterns going around it into a fine tip. The other one actually almost looks to be like it's some sort of obsidian. And you never really saw her doing anything with this one, but it was definitely there.
Alright, noted.
Okay. And so, were you guys searching through Belak as well?
Of course.
Okay. So you guys, as you're kind of going
I think
over,
Belek was dust.
I mean,
he
whatever you
did
got.
turn to dust, and as he was dying, you saw mushrooms kind of sprouting up and out of him. He had a couple that kind of grew out of his face, one right out of his eye socket, as he was finally screaming into his death throes, and then turned black and into dust. As he was kind of falling away across the pavement, you noticed that the tree-like gnarled staff that he was holding definitely seemed to be the same color as the Gulthias tree. And you see it kind of clatter to the ground amid the ruins of his body after he fades away.
Okay.
Alright. Alardro, you might want to have a look at that staff, but be careful.
Well,
He's
Alardro, as you say that, you go over to his body and you kind of like looking at this thing, and all of a sudden behind you you hear a and you turn around and you see Alardro up on his back feet, like full bear, like with his front paws is slamming up against this tree, repeatedly slamming against this tree. And after the first couple of branches, you start hearing some cracks and some snaps. And immediately afterwards, 2 things happen. You start hearing this wailing noise, this ethereal screaming, like a cry of pain. And you see this blood start welling up out of these cracks, and you see blood start dripping down out of the trunk of this tree. And you see this staff, Yin Yang, at your feet. Suddenly, all along the length of this staff, you see these mouths open, these wooden maws, and this wailing noise seems to be coming from all of these mouths along the length of the staff.
I would probably kick the staff away.
Okay. As you kick it away, you see that blood starts pouring from all of the mouths on the staff.
Ew. That's just wrong. Tree with mouths. I don't even know how to react to that one, guys.
Yeah,
that's pretty gross.
Had the correct reaction to this freaky shit.
What is your reaction, sir? Is there
It's wrong, I tell you, it's wrong.
Okay. So do you keep attacking this tree, Alardro?
Yeah, it needs to come down.
Okay, roll some claw attacks. Is anyone else going to try and help?
Is there? Can I like push it, like uproot it? Is that even possible?
I mean, you're
Right.
pretty strong. Red Tool's pretty strong. You guys could probably
I
roll.
would like to try to uproot the tree.
Okay, I'll do a strength roll then.
Yeah, that's a,
Oh.
I think you've got it. I think Alardro's got it, and there you go.
Okay.
jeez.
So Red Tool, as you're stepping up, you know you're used to being the muscle. You know, pretty much anywhere you go, but of this group, pretty much especially. But the bear suddenly takes this stance, and Alardro, you feel like this connection with nature, like with just the the natural essence of what this place could be and what this place has been before this tree, the manifestation of this evil sprouted. And you just feel this overwhelming surge of strength as you start pressing against this tree with all of your might. And you feel the tree holding on into the earth. You feel the roots stretching before you finally hear them start snapping, slowly at first, and then faster and faster. You feel this tree groaning in agony and in protest, and the screams of the staff getting louder and louder as finally this tree topples over and crashes against the earth. You feel this rumbling kind of start as the trunk kind of crashes against the ground. You see the roots, the broken pieces of the roots start kind of thrashing around in the earth, creating this huge circle of thrashing roots and pieces of this tree that dig into the earth. And you see this opening. And it doesn't seem like it's much bigger than a badger or something like that could fit through. But you see this almost looks like a passageway has been dug into the earth below this tree. And as it finally crashes against the ground and these roots kind of go into this death dance of agony, you hear the wailing suddenly stop from this staff across the courtyard. And you see the staff suddenly just crust over with the same blackness that took Belak, and it too turns to dust and fades into the ground. And suddenly you see the tree also start to crust over with this blackness, and you see it start to wither away and spread across the branches and into the leaves as you see it all slowly start to decay and rot away in front of you. It finally withers into a black stain across the earth.
Alrighty then.
I'm forgetting. It's been many, many weeks. Was our contract to get one of the fruit, or was it to destroy it?
It was to recover the heart of iron itself.
Okay, that's what I thought. Or I kind of forgot about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so all we were after the tree was whatever it grew from, which is this spike.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do?
Well, I think only two people could possibly fit down that. Either a larger changes into something small, or maybe even Meepo, but I don't know. Gok, could you maybe fit down the hole if we lowered you via rope?
Yeah, sure. Just don't drop me, okay? That's all I ask right now.
Is it
I
a
don't
straight
like
down
this
hole, or
fire
does
reach
it?
there.
You think it's a little bit too small for you to fit down there, Gok?
Oh.
as probably the hour is drawing near, I'm gonna slowly at this point start looking more and more, not get that much smaller, just less bulky and slowly look more humanoid as I drop my bear shape.
Okay.
Jeez.
So
Hey,
you guys
Alardro,
see Alardro standing there before you again.
Um, uh, well, what an experience we've had for the last little bit. Um, uh, do you want me to go down there?
Yeah, before you go though, our tools kind of hurt.
Oh, yeah, give me a second. And, I will, you go over to him and cast,
So is Grybek.
Again, is this hole like a straight down hole, or is it like a sloping thing?
You can only see, so far down into it.
I cast Healing Word on, Ratul,
That's fearful.
and I look around and see who else is not looking so good.
Grybek.
He's really not looking.
And I'll use it on Grybek as well.
Okay. That's cure wounds that you're casting, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Did I say something else?
Healing word.
Healing word, but it's fine.
Oh, sorry, I meant
Yep.
Cure Wounds.
Of course. Okay, says, thank you. Well done in the battle.
Just as a question before we send Alardro down in the hole, just to make sure nothing happens to him. Guess you don't want to, because Grybek mentions he's a forge cleric. Pretty sure with can't he like make us a few picks and we can have a minor moment?
That is a fantastic question. I'm not really sure how long it takes for him to do that, though, is the thing.
I'm gonna look up the forge cleric book.
I am going to...
Well, I mean, I feel like that's.
But it just
Good
keeps
stuff.
our group safer. That's the reason why I asked.
Well, I think...
Yeah, we don't want a large dying.
I mean, I
Not
still.
a bad idea.
It's a really good idea.
It's an hour-long ritual to create non-magical item that must include some metal, a simple or martial weapon, 10 pieces of ammunition, a set of tools, and other metal objects. Creation is complete at the end of the hour, coalescing in the unoccupied space of your choice within 5 feet of you. And you can create something that's worth no more than 100 gold pieces. And as part of the ritual, you must lay out the metal, which include coins with an equal value to the creation. The metal invariably coalesces and transforms into creation at the ritual's end. It's a non-magical weapon, though. It's a non-magical item.
Right.
Ritual can create a duplicate of a non-magical item that contains metal, such as
a simple or martial weapon, a suit of armor, 10 pieces of ammunition, a set of tools. So definitely could craft some picks from some sort of a metal object. So what would you like to sacrifice for this project?
no one in this group really uses a shield.
I
And
carry a wooden shield.
yeah, but Sir Knight's guys is a metal shield, which I don't
Yeah, I
think.
don't think druids can use metal shields.
We cannot. We use wooden shields.
And then I think Grybek, if he doesn't, he already has a shield. If he uses a shield,
He does have
I
a
think he
shield.
uses. So yeah, so I think we could totally sacrifice the Knight's shield for the.
Okay. So you guys want to take the shield and then have Grybek go ahead and fashion it into a set of picks for you guys to dig into the earth that was beneath this tree. in an effort to kind of expose this hole a little bit and see perhaps where it
Type
goes.
of what type of ground is what type is this rock? Is this like heavy packed dirt? Is this stone? Like hard stone? Is this like limestone?
It definitely is going to be like ancient earth and rock.
Just sort of being Grybek's racial specialty, which is why I made you think we would know how to get through this.
Right. It'd take about an hour, but the mining effort itself, depending on how, far of a tunnel is or what's going on, I mean, that could be a pretty massive effort.
I feel like it'd be worth it, because I mean, even though it was under the influence of Balak, I don't. I feel like it was just part of it, and this. I mean, the tree and the staff were wailing with mouths. I sort of don't want Alardro to go down by himself and possibly somehow get tamed if he does find the spike or whatever the hell is part of this tree.
Well,
This is why I want to do the mining effort,
I
and plus the fire. I feel like we're safer to actually do this. Plus, it gives the people who are hurt time to rest and heal up even more.
definitely understand your concerns. There will be a time factor involved for sure, though. You do have a druid that can, if you wanted to, turn into a little mouse and just go check it out. So there are options.
So how big is this hole then?
Like I said, it's not going to be anything much bigger than a rabbit or a badger or something like that could fit into.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want me to just go down it? I feel like it could be fairly quick, and if I'm a tiny little creature, it'd be very fast.
That was
Just
my
don't
plan.
touch anything. First of all, make sure you pick a creature that can see in the dark, and then also don't touch anything. Explore, but don't touch. If we're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go set about burning the rest of these mushrooms while you're down there.
Well, you do see that these mushrooms have pretty much taken over this cavern. They're all across the ceiling. Almost looks
Never mind.
like a field of stars across the ceiling.
Never mind.
But there are definitely, it's across the walls, it's across the floors. Some sort of a cleansing of this place seems like it is certainly in order.
Also, like we were gonna do with Gok, definitely still want to tie a rope to you. 2 tugs for danger, and we'll haul your ass back quick as hell.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. What kind of a creature are you going to turn into, Mr. Druid?
So. Ooh.
I feel like a rabbit would probably be the fastest.
Yeah, but he
A
also
what?
has to make sure you can see in the dark.
Right. So a mole definitely can smell, but I don't know. Can I use an what would I use to try and figure out what animal I should turn into? Like, if there's like one that I would know of that would be pretty good in this situation.
Definitely, a mole or a shrew, something like that, that can see in the dark is definitely a good
Okay,
idea.
then I'll turn into a mole for right now.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and loop.
Everybody roll
rope around his middle.
perception checks.
Okay.
That's kind of around that.
This should be my last wild shape for the day.
Ah, crap.
Okay. Anyone else that would like to can roll a perception check. So as you're about to turn into a mole and you're kind of looking into this hole, you notice it almost looks like a string, kind of, that seems weirdly out of place. And you go to kind of reach down and you find that's a string that's part of that ties on a sack that seems to be kind of shoved into a crevice. What do you think about that?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
A string that seems to be maybe part of a sack.
Yeah, it
Right
looks
before
like the ties that was kind of tying a sack together, and one of the strings kind of just happened to fall out, amid the chaos.
I'm gonna try and pick it up with my long arms if I can reach it.
Yeah, you can
The
definitely
sack.
reach it. You pull the sack out. Seems to have some stuff inside.
I'll take a look inside the sack before I go deeper.
Okay. So you see, as you kind of open the sack and the light hits him, you see the red, swirling liquid inside. Kind of familiar looking bottles at this point. As you see 3 potions of healing. You also.
I
I'm sorry, go ahead.
potions of healing.
What now?
I found some healing potions, and I'll pick one up and show everyone.
I'm gonna go over and make
Nice, fine.
sure.
Okay. You also see 2 other vials in there. They seem to be smaller. They're also glass, and it seems to be some sort of like a amber liquid that's inside.
Anything we've come across already have the same sort of colored liquid?
It actually does look familiar. You found, I believe, one of these on the body of Dern. I think you did a nature check at the time, and you know that it is an antitoxin.
Actually, quite useful. So, antitoxin and healing potion. That's good.
At the very bottom of the bag, you also find a key.
Does this key seem to be similar to any of the locks? Like, does it like have an insignia on it, or does it have like anything special about it, or just like a regular old key?
Just seems to be a key.
Let me see that key.
I'm gonna pick up the key and start looking at it, and then when he says that, I'll look to him and give it to him.
Okay. Roll
How many-
an intelligence check with your dwarven advantage thing, or your extra die.
Also, I have Master of Locks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got a D4 to my history check. There we go.
There you go.
There's history. History.
Okay.
Total of 17.
Oh, that's right. So, 17's good enough then. So you definitely remember that room, that door that you guys were looking at before, when you were unable to get in there, I think. Oh, you guys ended up foot keying that door.
Yep.
So, well, it's for that room.
So yeah, just oh, I know exactly which lock this key goes to.
It looks over at Red Tool.
Unfortunately, yeah, looks over at Red Tool. We already sort of opened it via Ratul and his special method of opening doors. So it's sort of useless right now.
What? It worked.
No, I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just like, it's always funny that we found the key we needed for that door, but the door didn't actually stop us.
After we
I'm
smashed
waiting
it.
for the time we run into a door that tops Ratul.
Well,
That's already happened.
We did at the very
Remember that door he
beginning.
broke his hammer on?
Yeah, he's sort of slowly progressing, getting better at opening the doors, but in the beginning, foot key didn't work so much. Neither did the hammer.
Well, I meant where he's at now.
It's true. In the very beginning of this adventure, there was a hammer smash that rang out through the dungeon and broke mostly the hammer.
Don't worry, for whoever comes across a nice dwarven door, foot key probably won't work as well.
Give me time.
It's true. enough fuck yous
Anyway.
might do the job.
Did we tie a rope around Alardro as he became what he became to go down the hole?
Well, he never
Okay.
became the mole just yet.
Ah,
Notice
So-
the bag, but yeah.
Do you
Now
have
that
like
we
a
have that-
string or something you want to use? Because it seems like a rope around a mole is kind of awkward.
I can just I'm just gonna take the rope. I have and unravel it.
Okay.
Just take the time to unravel it so that it's a bit thinner, and then loop that around Alardro once he transforms.
Okay. So go ahead and, unless you want to take the time to reweave it, change that from 50-foot rope to 50-foot string cord.
Yeah, I'll put,
Just take
yeah, I'll
50-foot
put,
cord.
yeah, I'll put 50-foot.
have we been at this an hour by chance just yet?
Yeah, and I would say that this could be. Oh wait, you guys aren't making the picks, so it would probably
Yeah.
take him about 20 minutes to unravel that rope.
Okay, because I'm kind of just trying to take a short rest and just get one in, just so it's known.
Yeah, no,
I'm resting to get a short rest.
Yeah, and the amount of time it takes for Brasnic to unravel this rope and get that cord ready, you could definitely spend some time, plus in the time for Alardro to actually go down.
Oh, are we all getting a short rest here then?
Well,
Uh,
me and you are doing the dive. Everybody
Well,
else has a
yeah,
chance to do the short
I
rest.
can't. My B shape only lasts an hour, so I can't just sit there and wait for an hour.
Yeah, no. You are going down with me holding the rope while everybody else kicks it and has a short rest.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We also hand off the bag to Erky because he seems to always be sort of on the edges. So he's our other healer.
Okay. He kind of holds the bag and kind of looks wistfully at the party members that are resting. So, okay, I'll be right here.
Dude, relax, Erky, relax. I'm just giving you the bag because you're the other healer. You're not on standby right now. Just kick back.
Oh, I sure would like a rest myself.
Yeah, go for it.
So you kind of go up against the wall, kicks
Alright,
back up
Alardro.
against the wall.
Let's
Where's
do
everybody
this.
else resting here? Just right there?
I'm just gonna
Ratul is
rest.
going to rest by the tree. And keep a
Rest by
hand
this
on the
wall.
rope.
I'm gonna rest over here trying to talk to Meepo and see how the dragon's doing too.
Alright.
I mean, they came from somewhere. I want to know what they had to deal with on the way here.
Okay. We'll get back to that in a few moments. Alright. So Ratul is going to rest against what's left of the tree, the remains of the tree there, while you guys get to work on the rope. And then, so you finally do get that unraveled. You get ready to go. Alardro, you're going to turn into a mole.
Yep.
Okay. So as you feel your body shrinking, you feel your size shrinking down as you kind of drop down onto your hands as they, slowly turn into a mole's paw as the dark fur kind of covers your body and your nose elongates out and starts wriggling around. Brasnic, you're kind of standing there watching this process happen. Is that weird?
Oh yeah, it's weird.
Is that
I
weird
mean,
for the dwarf?
the giant guy turning. I mean, I haven't actually really been there to see him transform into the other creatures. So yeah, no, this like shrinking transformation is,
The nerd.
even though he's a druid, slightly unnatural and unnerving.
Okay, so you see the wriggling nose as he finally finishes his
And my mom's
transformation.
like, where all the masks go? Where all the masks go when he shrinks into this? Like,
I know the dwarven side of you, the logical calculating side, definitely is wondering these things. As you are able to kind of fix the cord around Alardro's midsection, Alardro, you see this hole descending into the earth before you. You can definitely see, no problem.
Okay. I'll start climbing down. I'll start as the string has been attached. I'll start wiggling through and starting finding the way where I can feel air coming from, because I'm assuming there's some like air coming from somewhere else, right?
You can sense that there does seem to be an opening or some kind of openness below you, possibly a chamber of some sort.
I'm gonna try and move it as much as I can to that direction, so I don't
Okay.
stay trapped underground, like in the middle of the ground.
Okay. So you descend, and you can tell that this tunnel is something that's been traveled a lot by some sort of creature. It's been well used, and as you descend further into the earth, you go around a couple of corners and finally come out of a crevice and crack in the wall. And as you do so, you see this cavern open up before you. And as your eyes are kind of taking it in, you see the root system of this great tree seems to be running along the whole inside of this chamber in a crazy web of tangled roots. And they all seem to be going into one direction. And as you focus into the darkness, into the gloom across the chamber, you see a huge, massive form. It seems to be stretched across the earth. And as you kind of look at it, you see the rot is just now finally starting to reach these lower roots. The rot that killed the tree from your efforts before. And you see that these roots seem to have grown over this form, and you finally realize that the shape that is laying in this chamber is a great dragon. But it seems to be desiccated. It seems to be shrunken in on itself. Like all of its lifeblood, all of its fluids, all of its vitality have been drained from it. And it almost to the point where it is nothing but a skeletal frame. And as this rot starts to approach this creature, you see suddenly this great eye open. And it looks right at you. And you feel this overwhelming fear hit you. For just the briefest of moments, this great creature gazing upon you.
Can I ask what color dragon this is?
Sorry about the sirens in the back. I just moved to the city.
That depends. Is there a light down there?
There isn't any light, but you're seeing in the darkness and whatnot, being a mole.
Dark vision doesn't work that way.
I only see shadows.
Yeah, shape of the
Well,
dragon.
different colored dragons also have different features. Like a red dragon, like black dragons have like horns on the side of their face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, red dragons have no horns, and white dragons usually have like a horn like going from their top, right?
Exactly. And this definitely does seem to be a red dragon, a great red dragon. And as this eye fixes upon you, the feeling of fear is almost immediately gives way to this look of deep and profound gratitude and relief. And you can feel this dragon almost thanking you for releasing it from its suffering.
Do I notice, besides the routes that we're going into it, do I notice any other routes or any direction where the heart may lie?
No, not. Well, go ahead and roll a perception check. Oof. Yes, you do. You definitely see, and it's actually above you, at the very top of this chamber. You see a bit of the trunk is still there, and you see this pedestal that seems to have sunken into the earth, and it seems to be crumbled and broken at this point from the ages. But it looks like it used to be almost like some sort of a great throne. And this tangled, massive roots leads up to the seat of this throne. And you can see that the trunk seemed to have grown around this throne in the seat area and seemed to have done a lot of damage to it in the process. But enough of it is there to recognize, and you can see, even from where you are, that there does seem to be some sort of a shape resting among the ashes of this tree, the dust of its decay, and sitting upon the seat of this throne. And as this decay spreads down, you see it finally reach this draconic form, this great dragon. And as it does so, you see the great eye roll up into the socket as the blackness spreads across the creature. And you see it too starts to decay and turn to rot and finally turn into black dust, released from its agony, and spread into ashes across the earth.
But all of it turns to ash?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, like, scales left over?
You do definitely see that there seems to be, remnants of a dragon living there. There's definitely, scales and things of that nature just around the cavern.
Gotcha. Can I easily go over and pick up the like, can I, like, scurry around and, like, go to the top and pick up the what's it called? The Heart of Iron, sorry.
Yeah, you can make your way up the side of the cavern, climbing your way up there and get to this stone throne-like spot. And as you reach the arm of this thing, you can almost feel like a presence of evil. But it seems to be emanating from the metal itself.
I'm gonna attempt to, like, grab the iron, rip it out.
Okay. Roll a wisdom check
Okay.
with advantage.
Wisdom check or wisdom save?
Wisdom save with advantage. Okay.
Thank you. The advantage.
You feel like it's not like an intelligence necessarily, but there's definitely this malevolence to this item. It just feels like this all-consuming hatred and hunger that just wants to consume life.
That's not.
You are able to pick it up, though. You're able to wrest it from its spot there. It's not even necessarily connected to anything, as it was kind of in the wood, so it kind of just fell to its place on the throne there. So you're able to pick it up, no problem. But it's definitely you can feel this malevolence, and it almost feels like it wants to it wants you to, become one with this thing and become part of, its mission to consume the world.
Okay. Besides that, do I see anything else?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go pick up one of the red dragon scales, or one of the scales,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna scurry back out. This place is really creepy.
Okay. How are you carrying these things? As a mole?
Uh, well, moles have 2 hands and a mouth. Let me think. Hmm. I think I'll carry the scale in my mouth, and because it's already dug out, I'll carry the iron in one of the little paw-like hands.
Okay. You are going to have to use both hands, especially it's kind of an awkward load with the scale in your mouth, but
Gotcha.
you
I'm
are...
going to
Go ahead.
Then I'm going to go up and bring the scale first, and then scurry. How long does it take me to get here?
I'd say so far it's probably been about 10 minutes or so.
Okay,
Just to
I'm
point
gonna.
out, you could tug on your rope.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick up both. I'll have hold both of them, the scale in my mouth and the heart of iron in my hand, like my little paws. And then
Okay.
I'll tug the rope.
Okay. Brasnic, you feel a tug on the rope.
Alright, time to haul them back up. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
road tool's right there. Road tool, give me a hand.
So you hand over hand, start pulling it. And he's a mole. They're not that big. And you're able, it definitely feels heavier than it should. You feel more resistance than it seems like there should be. So as you start getting him out of there, you start hearing this, the dragging noises of something being dragged through the earth and clattering against stone. You finally pull the mole back up out of this crevice in the earth, and you guys, you and Ratul see that he seems to be holding a dragon scale, a red dragon scale, in his mouth, and in his paws you guys see this twisted piece of black metal.
Really, Alandro, I told you not to touch anything. The dragon scale I get, but the fuck is the twisted thing?
At this point, once I'm out of the hole and I'm in regular parts, I'm going to drop my form.
Also, where the hell did you get a dragon scale? I'm a red one at that.
Okay. So as you grow back up
Very
to your
good point.
huge height,
So I drop my form, and I'm going to describe the scene of the red dragon. And this is, I believe, is the heart of iron. But we came here to remove. What we came to try and make this place less evil with.
Alright, well, I'd wrap that thing in cloth so that we're not touching it with our bare hands.
are you still holding it?
Yes.
Roll another wisdom check with advantage.
But why do I have to hold another? Oh, I mean, I'm the same creature.
I know.
Okay. Oh.
You feel an overwhelming urge to bite Brasnic on the neck and start drinking his blood.
Do I make an attack?
No, but you definitely feel this urge very strongly. Do you
I'm going to. Do I have a urge to hold on to this thing, or should I? Can I drop it?
you can try and drop it.
I will attempt to. After he said, "Why are you holding that?" I'll drop it.
As it drops to the earth, you feel it was like just a. It was like just slowly growing inside you as your senses almost started turning red. And as you drop the heart of iron, it clatters to the ground. You feel it subside very quickly as everything kind of
That
comes
thing
back
is-
to normal.
incredibly evil.
The stick or the heart of iron?
Hmm?
The
As I said, wrap it in some kind of cloth so we're not touching it directly.
I'll fashion a little like makeshift baggie with some of. I'll just try and use like some cloth I have and put it into my backpack at this point. Or actually, I'm gonna let them know I don't feel comfortable holding this. This thing is very evil, and it was making me think things that I shouldn't.
I suggest we give it to one of the clerics who have a god on their side.
At this point, you see Grybek, kind of stand up and come over. And you see him actually kind of make a protection symbol just in the air, just as soon as he sees the item. And he pulls out a container out of his backpack, and he just kind of goes over towards it, scoops it up without even touching it into the container, and puts the cover back over it, wraps it in a cloth, and puts it into his backpack. And just
There we go.
looks at
We
all
need-
of you with a look of determination to get this done.
We still need to return that, otherwise we are in a great deal of trouble. We have a.
We plan on returning it, buddy. That
Oh,
that
yes.
was the entire mission.
We'll see this
Exactly.
through.
As
Kirby,
bad
you're
as it
dying.
is, did they specify whether or not it needed to be functioning? Because do we really want to put something like that back in the world?
We have to return it, otherwise we're gonna die.
We can return it, but does it have to work?
I
It's the
mean,
heart of
it's
iron, but
there's not really a way to make it non-functioning without breaking it. And come on, obviously they want it intact. No one sends you out to come back with a broken item.
Does beg the
Well, we got
question,
it.
and I think what Yin Yang is asking is, that is the contract, and yes, you are supposed to bring it back, but are these the kind of people you want to give an artifact like this to?
I don't know if I trust. I don't know if I trust them or anyone with this as a functioning magical thing. It is there a way to remove everything from it or purge it?
Not that's within our power right now. I don't think so. Grybek, Urki, got anything like that? I sure as hell don't.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Perhaps someone at the... There might be someone more powerful than I that could do such a thing. Oh, well, I might be able to try to bless it, but I just don't know if I have the power. If it were up to me, I'd like to take it back to my temple. But it sounds like you guys... Well, what kind of an obligation is it?
The a blood contract.
against better judgment, mind you.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, as much as you guys are afraid of this, but I feel like we should very much go through on returning to them. I mean, I'm not saying we can't, watch a person, per se, and maybe do something later, but I want the contract to be fulfilled so there's no, and then we can maybe do something. Because, I mean, the contract's pretty much fulfilled as soon as we bring it to the broker.
That's true.
Yeah, I assume as long as we did everything we needed to do, our contract should be uh, filled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems I'm outruled, so.
Well, I'm sorry, but you do realize what happened with a blood contract if we don't follow through, right?
I'm aware.
Well, he's just bringing up valid points for sure. And then, there's a discussion that should definitely be had. Okay. So, with that being put away, you guys also do have this dragon scale, and he did tell you the story of what he saw.
And do we think that the tree was feeding on the giant red dragon, and that's why it turned around when this was done?
I
I
I
mean, he
think
did say it was.
I think that Belloc did that.
He did say that he was going to lure dragons to the citadel and feed them to the tree one by one.
It's a very evil man.
Well, if I remember correctly, he also said this red dragon had been feeding it for a while, so based on what
According,
you told us, you released it from its suffering, but according to him, it's been here for some time.
well, yeah, according to him, it's Alardro. It's a huge red dragon. I could see how that could be feeding it for a long time.
And there definitely was a lot of blood and, pouring from the tree as it was being damaged. Pouring from the staff before it immolated.
All right, well, let's get the fuck out of here. If I don't know for the citadel.
Do
Do
you
we
think
get a rest?
Would you guys like to rest here?
I think everyone else has a short rest, right? Besides me and Grybek. No, Grybek. Brasnic.
Yeah, I was asking if an hour had passed during all of this, because I had said I was resting for a short rest. I was asking if I succeeded or
Yeah, you're definitely able to. It's about an hour or so that would have passed in this time. And it's not out of the realms for you guys to actually take a long rest here if you really wanted to.
I don't think we want to stay in this dungeon any longer than we have to.
Well, now thinking about it and everything, all we've been through, we've explored a lot of this place, but again, there's still quite a few creatures out there. And Meepo, how exactly are your people taking this whole situation? Because there's still quite a few people who could be hostile. So
Maybe never go back. We just hang with Calcrix, and then she kind of made us come down here. I think she sensed trouble. He kind of looks over at Calcrix, and you see her just kind of like, just one slow nod toward you guys, like she seemed to sense that something was happening and that they might be needed.
alright, but my vote changes to a long rest here with a watch, with rotating watches, especially.
Meepo stand guard. Meepo, good watcher. And you see Urki kind of just looking around this grove. And he slowly gets up and he walks over towards you, Alardro. And he says, I feel like perhaps another might be needed to cleanse this place. Well, I'm not sure I can do it alone. Would you? Well, do you have a grove that you call your home?
No, I was going off adventuring, but this seems like a place I could set up to restore the land to what it could be and fix some of the problems here. There are creatures who need help, and I'm here to protect the wilds, and this is somewhere that needs protecting.
I think it should be cleansed.
It will take me some time to do that. I'm not strong enough just yet, but if I spend time here and do that, I could help. Would you be staying?
Well, I would like to. The order sent me here to stop the druid and do what I can. But I feel my connection with nature is, a little bit different than yours. And I believe it will take the power of a druid of some kind to bring this place back and heal it from this evil. And he kind of looks over towards Grybek, because he's holding the heart of iron. He says that thing has poisoned this place, but I believe it can be returned. And at this point, not really noticing this in the conversation, you feel a little tug at your pantaloons since you're so tall. And as you look down, you see Meepo standing there. And he kind of looks up at you with big eyes, and he says, Meepo want to help too. And he kind of holds his hand out towards you. And he says, Meepo been watching. And you see this little glow in the center of his hand. It's almost a golden aura with these little motes that come out of it, and slowly you see this plant start to grow out of his palm. You see it bloom into a little flower. As he casts.
Meepo, it's amazing. I've never would have guessed you had the potential to be one of the grove.
He just kind of looks up at you with big proud eyes. Says, Meepo help you. Meepo and Calcrix. Calcrix make this her home. And you see Calcrix kind of looking over at you, and she kind of gives you another slow
nod. I can help you restore this to a livable and grand place, but it will take me some months potentially, or longer.
Just, I feel like with you, Meepo, and Urki, you make the strides you can right now while we, maybe take a long rest and spend a few hours here, and then you can always come back. While Meepo stays here and, Calcrix and them sort of make a home. And if Urki doesn't want to come up with us, same deal.
I think I'm gonna stay here with them. They need my help, and I can't leave them to tend to this place without me. Not with so much evil still left here.
You sure you'll be okay here? You hear Grybek kind of ask from his position up against the wall.
I think I can manage, and I know the way, the portal. I know where the portal is, and I can send word if we really need help.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much that, I guess.
Yeah. So,
Just stay safe.
I will, and this isn't goodbye. This is just I have, maybe one day or soon, hopefully, we'll be able to venture with you again. It was amazing to do all of this and to save these people.
Don't mistake it, Alardro. I didn't say goodbye. I just said just stay safe.
Oh, okay. You too.
Well, there are some challenges left here, yeah? But perhaps we could at least escort you to the portal. I just, want to make sure you guys get out okay too.
Well, there's also that dragon door we didn't get through that the kobolds have the key for.
Well, do you feel up to making sure they get out all right?
Yeah, I'll help them until we can make it out of here, and then I'll come back and find you.
coming too.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't make sure they got out all right too.
Oh, perfect. Is everyone ready to move on?
Oh, I sure would like a rest.
Yeah. Uh, yes.
I feel what we've just had isn't enough.
So we kick it for the night, and then it's back up top with you guys escorting us.
Okay.
Oh, right. What about that fire that was behind us?
Yeah, it's no longer up. I don't hear anything.
And you hear Meatball kind of pop up. He says, "Oh, Kakrik's put that out with the ice breath. She's very powerful."
Good.
Oh, this
All
should
right,
be
well,
funny to watch some of y'all walk across that ice.
Yeah.
No. Walking across the ice. Well, anyway, let's all grab some shut eye, and we'll get out of here tomorrow.
Okay. So I believe. Can't Grybek cast Identify once a day? Did he already do that today?
Alardro can too, I think.
I can cast Detect Magic,
Oh, that's
and
right.
and I can cast Disguise Self, but that doesn't really help.
Yeah, no, Grybek
I can
can.
cast Detect Magic and look around and see if I see anything magical.
Grybek, if he doesn't have it on his spell list right now, he can change out a spell for tomorrow morning. So, and Identify is on his spell list, I believe. So,
Because he's a Forge Cleric?
because he's a cleric,
Oh, okay.
and because he's a four cleric, you might be able to do it.
I didn't know that was a cleric spell. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a cleric thing. I'll check.
I appreciate it.
All clerics know Identify, right? And then
Okay.
they can switch out their spells at the beginning. They have like
Of
they prepare spells.
Indeed. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, he's got it on his spell list. I probably could have just looked. So I am going to take off Guiding Bolt and select Identify. So in the morning, Grybek can get to work doing that as well. So you guys do decide to spend the night here, amidst the ruins of this space here. In the morning, you see Grybek. What are you guys going to try and have him identify? With the casting, do you use the detect magic?
Why not?
No, you take 10 minutes to do it as a ritual.
Okay, so you want to do that in the morning or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. You do see that the sword obviously is glowing. You see the potions are glowing. You see that both of the wands are glowing.
We might as well identify pretty much everything but the potions, because we know what the potions are.
Okay.
Does Identify last long, or is it each item?
Concentration of... I think it just has a duration.
It has instant duration. Choose one object you're touching while casting. Yeah, so it's 10 minutes per item.
But he can cast it as a ritual, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, not 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. So it technically costs 11 minutes because the cast time is 1 minute, and he's doing it as a ritual. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
10
he
minutes,
could
11
spend,
minutes per.
half an hour or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Casting Identify. Or 30 minutes, I guess, including the sword. So we have. This would be the first thing.
Oh, I make sure to go around and collect all my goddamn daggers.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, before I go to sleep, I'll create 10 good berries because I had one spell slot left.
Okay, perfect. The second thing you find would be this. And then you're gonna have to take this information down, because as I said, I beefed up these characters a little bit, but I also gave them more things for you to find. And this was the wand that is made of what looks to be like some sort of obsidian, and it is the handle part of it is has silver that has been wrapped around a very fine silver thread, almost that looks like it has been wrapped around the handle part of it, and then it goes up along the length of it in some lines that all meet at the very tip where it seems to be capped with silver as well.
So the ebon wand is the wand of entangle?
No, that is the wand of the war mage.
You're cutting out for me the one of what?
It's the Wand of the War Mage, which is a really, really good wand.
Well, if Alandro, you and Gok pretty much get to decide who gets that.
I don't use wands.
That seems like a pretty good item for Gok, that's for sure.
Oh, what'd you say, Alandro?
I don't use wands.
Well, I mean, I guess if you really don't want to use one, that's fine. Yeah, okay, Gok, you've got a wand of the war mage.
Oh, that's big there, man. Yeah.
Do you just not like wands, Alandro?
They just don't. They don't.
He's a
really
bear.
Help. More of a. Like to turn into the animals. They feels better to be it sometimes than to be a. Like this.
Okay. Just asking, because from what I've seen, you sort of done both in equal measure.
Okay.
But cool. So yeah, Gok, you got a wand of the war mage.
Right now.
That's pretty
Grybek's
badass,
probably gonna
Gok.
take the shatter spike.
So
And
what do you think about that, Gok?
I love that a lot, actually.
So you, being a new warlock, being new to this, as you see this wand, as they hand it over to you, and to you, this looks like the most epic magical item that's ever existed in the history of being a magic user.
Yeah.
So sleek,
Gonna-
so shiny.
Try to thank people by going, thank you, guys, for this amazing wand. Thank you.
okay, sure.
Uh,
What about the chain
God, that
shirt?
hurt my soul a little bit.
You made it through that. You made it through it okay, Gok. You'll live.
Very encouraging.
Showing gratitude is new to the goblin. Okay. So, the armor does not seem to be magical. Just very well made. Same with the shield. The gauntlets that these wands were in also do not seem to be magical. They just seem to be extremely well made and designed for, a magic user to be able to have wands ready for use while still being able to cast magic.
I'm gonna, with the gauntlets, whatever. I'm gonna go over and talk with Grybek and say, hey, man, as a guy who does the forge, I'm okay, but focused on locks. But you're you've probably done a lot more smithing enough. You think you can maybe look at these gauntlets and recreate them to where I could have, like dagger gauntlets? Because I mean, being able to having quick access to daggers for me is quite useful.
Okay. You see him actually, he kind of, grabs one of the gauntlets in his hand, or in his hands, and kind of
You
turns
cut
it
out.
over. Kind of grabs a gauntlet in his hands, turns it over a couple of times, and kind of opens it up. Looks at some of the the making of the item. Says, yeah, I could fashion something like that.
Sweet. And actually, I have, again, just with the two of us together, whatever. I know there are my daggers are all weighted for throwing, but they're still pretty much, they're not actually throwing daggers. I mean, you think, and then I'd sit there and me and him gab on until I'm trying to basically make it, like a gauntlet of throwing daggers, so I can just easily, chuck daggers instead of having to, reach down to my waist and pull it out and all that crap.
Okay.
It's basically a gauntlet that holds a bunch of kunai.
Okay. Probably would be able to fashion something that would hold a dagger in each one of the gauntlets and have some sort of a spring mechanism that would shoot it out and have it so you could grab it and have it ready to go instantly. I don't know if it would hold more than one dagger per gauntlet though.
Even if it's only one dagger per gauntlet, that's still pretty rare.
It's pretty badass. What were you gonna ask, Gok?
Is it a +1 to damage or +1?
Just the spell attack rolls, and then you also get to ignore half cover when you're making.
Really
your spell
nice.
Yeah, which is really good. Okay, so it's +1.
Especially for a guy with very wild Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This will make me the best magic user ever!
Yeah, makes me even greater. Proves my strength already. Yeah.
All right, now I've had my dwarven geek out moment. Let's get out of here, guys.
Okay, so in the morning, two things happen. Gok, as you wake up and you stretch, you feel strong again. Oh, that weakness is gone. You feel your strength return to you. You feel normal again. The touch of the shadow has faded. As you get up and you stretch, kind of look down, and you see that kind of pool of Grybek shadow next to you. But yours is still missing.
This, I should probably see
Doctor for?
wizard. No, not a doctor. Yeah. So I feel like a doctor can't exactly help me reattach shadow unless I don't know. Maybe you need to sew it back on or something like
You
that.
talk to Peter.
Yeah.
I don't think you can reattach a shadow when you don't have one.
What do you
I
think?
mean, is your shadow like in a box you're holding?
No.
So I don't really think you can reattach that. I mean, you should probably talk to somebody, another person of arcane knowledge to see if you can get your shadow back. But yeah, I don't think there will be any reattaching. Regaining, but not reattaching.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's off in the Shadowfell is where all the shadows go, right?
There, I think that's just a place called the Shadowfell. I'm not sure if all shadows come from there.
Is this on vacation?
I thought they just go there for vacation or something. They don't do that?
I don't think so. I think the Shadowfell is a place, but I don't think that's like their vacation spot or the origin of shadows themselves.
Okay, wait. You gotta tell me so they don't have vacation resorts over there.
Gok, I'm pretty sure they don't have fucking shadow vacation resorts, okay?
Okay.
Shadows don't take a break. Normally people have shadows, they stay. Okay? There's no vacation for your shadow.
Okay, well you just had to tell me no. Jeez. Gosh.
I did. And then you just kept going.
And on that note, think about There's no vacation resorts in the Shadowfell for shadows.
On the plus side, you'll have an easier time hiding because they can't see your shadow.
There's that.
He's not wrong. Hey, Gok, how did you lose your shadow in the first place?
I think it's when we fought that shadow monster, and it just hasn't come back, and it never really came up until now. I just thought, I'd sleep it off, and then it'd come back. I mean, I feel stronger, but now my shadow's gone, and I don't exactly know what to do about that, or if I'm gonna slowly. I don't know what happens when your shadow's gone.
Can we have been having this conversation while we were walking out?
Yeah, can we have this conversation?
Yin Yang standing over there just looking bored as fuck. Like, guys, could we go?
Let's not get ambushed by goblins. Okay.
So, as Yin Yang is timing is perfect, you actually see Urky's been kind of ignoring this whole conversation that's been going on, and you see that he's kind of come over by this hole in the ground, and you see that he's actually down on his knees, and you see that he's kind of got his hands together and his head bound, and he seems to have been chanting for quite some time.
Was he the one holding on to the heart?
No, Grybek is.
Grybek.
Oh, good. I'm gonna walk over to him. Where is he? There he is. No, where? There he is. I'm gonna ask him. Is everything all right?
As you come closer, you kind of hear under his breath, and you immediately understand what he's doing, as he is casting a bless spell, and he seems to be casting it kind of just on this general area.
Gotcha.
And it actually seems to have an effect on just what's left of this tree. And as he does so, you see this first little sprout of a sapling grow out. And just for a second, it almost seems like it's struggling, and you see him like start to concentrate as he's like almost repeating the spell as a mantra, almost pleading to his god. And it seems to be. Mm-hmm.
Can I cast Druidcraft and use the ability to make a leaf bloom / pot open to try and make it or flower blossom to try and like get it to the next little bit?
Of course. So as you kind of redouble, you reach out with your druidic magic, and you kind of support his clerical pleading to his god Sylvanus, and your combined efforts coming at this ruined and desecrated grove. You see this suddenly just burst with life and with renewed vigor. As it grows, it starts transforming almost like a wooden structure, and it starts to elongate out, and as it does so, it finally stops in its growth process at about maybe 4 feet or so, and you instantly recognize that you guys and your combined efforts have created this magical item from the heart of what is left of this twisted tree, and have turned it into one of the great magical items for the Druidic Order.
I'm gonna walk over and say,
Through a stick.
I'm gonna pick it up and as the candle as oh do we have I guess they have a torch. Oh, I'm thinking I'm probably out of torches at this point. Oh
It's
no
alright.
no because I would turn them. I would have stopped using them during the daytime during the night
Yeah.
rest. Um, with the torch you can like see me illuminated, but the staff as soon as I touch it like there's a different type of like light that's coming off of me, more of like a golden sparkly aura that surrounds me. Um, and then it like fades into the darkness of what was the rest of the structure.
Okay. And you see Erky kind of, just take a long breath, and he opens up his eyes and looks up at you and says, I think that'll help with the fights to come.
Yes, and the saving of this fortress.
Yes. I believe we've made a great start here. Well then, shall we be off?
Yes. Am I attuned to this item or not yet?
What is the attunement is half an hour? Is that right?
2 minutes is a short rest.
So a full hour. Let's see. I am going to say, for the sake of awesomeness, that it actually, as soon as you touch it, you feel like this connection with nature, like you've never felt this primal kind of pure connection, and you almost just sense like everything around you for a moment, like you can just sense everything in the world just for the briefest of flashes, and suddenly you kind of come back to yourself, and you feel instantly connected with this item.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that was something to witness.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
It's probably a magical stick, seeing as it just let's just go.
God damn it, Ritual.
I love it.
All right. So yeah, you see Meepo just kind of looking up at you with like this awe, and you see like his eyes well up with tears, and he just kind of like runs over and gives your giant leg a big hug. Says, "Okay, is it okay, Meepo, hang here?
Of course.
Okay, and he starts like clapping, and you see him like starting, and he starts like plucking at the fungus and all the stuff that's growing. He says, Meepo, start cleaning up now.
Oh, yeah, that'd be really helpful.
Okay. So, Meepo is going to stay behind with the dragon, and they're going to start that cleanup effort while you guys see what's left in the Sunless Citadel. So, what kind of marching order are we looking at here?
I say Ratul goes first. Then
Ratul and Grybek,
And then I'll follow them.
Yin Yang, and probably me, and then Gok and
Yeah,
Alardro and
I'll pull up the back.
Okay.
good to me.
All right. Well, let's start making our way up this way. I'll go ahead and move Grybek. So as you come through here, you see that the top part of this field seems to have burned out. There's still a huge a bit of this bramble left, but for the most part, This kind of top area has been burned out of here. You don't really see any remnants of the ice or anything like that that was used to put out the flame from the dragon breath. So, Brasnic and Alardro, are you gonna move your tokens?
Oh, sorry, I putting the staff info
No, you're good.
to my
You had juicy stuff to do.
yeah, the character sheet.
Brasnic's just over here slacking. So you guys did get into this chamber here, right? Through this doorway.
Yeah, from the top door.
Okay. Let's see. But you guys didn't really have a chance to explore or anything in there, did you? I can't remember.
No, not really.
Okay. All right. So this door is still open. Grybek kind of comes in and starts looking around a little bit. Which way are you guys going? What are you gonna do?
Probably follow Grybek. Because we don't want to split everybody up. No.
Okay.
Follow the door.
All right.
Keep
So you guys definitely, do see the, the signs of battle as you guys came through before. A little bit of a mess going on in there. Anybody want to do any kind of looking around or anything like that? We're just kind of
I'll do a perception check and see if I see anything back behind us.
Okay.
That we may have.
Okay. So in this room here.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything seems to be pretty much clear out here. Definitely see, that there were the battle that happened previously when you first turned into the bear, came charging into the room. But other than that, it seems to be clear out in that area. Anyone want to look around in this study? Brasnic.
What use does Ratul have for books?
You do see that a layer of soil covers the floor. Rough wooden shelves filled with a scattering of tomes and scrolls line the north and east walls, and a rough-hewn desk stands in the center of the chamber. Fungus on the ceiling provides light, apparently in sufficient quantity to nourish several small bushes and pale saplings that grow in the soil.
Sorry, I just wanted to say I want also to see just to see if there's anything of value in those books.
Okay. So you see that there's seasonal records of the growth, precipitation, harvests, similar notes for the surrounding lands for the last dozen years. There is a tome that seems to be written in Draconic on the title of it.
If I remember correctly, no one speaks Draconic at all here.
Nepo did, but we left him behind again.
Urki does.
Oh. Okay, I'll ask Urki. Can you tell me? Hey Urki, can you tell me the title of this book?
What is it? It says, the treasures of the Fire Lords.
The what?
The treasures of the Fire Lords.
Is it in the book? The treasure of the Fire Lords?
Well, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Is there like treasure in the book?
Gok, there's no treasure in the book. It just might tell of the treasure. It's a
What are you
book, Gok. God damn it, man.
Are you
What?
gonna...
Knowledge
People
is
hide
treasure.
stuff in books sometimes, like booze.
Give the book to Urki, and let's see what he reads and
Are
finds
you
out.
gonna...
Yeah. I'm
check
gonna
it out
get
and see if there's any booze in the book, Gok.
Okay,
Knowledge
first I'm
is
gonna check to
strength.
see if
What
there's
are
any
you
booze in the
talking
book.
about?
I didn't hear you, Gok. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ruffle around the book, just kind of.
Flip it open.
Yeah, just flip it, shake it to see if there's anything there. That's like,
Okay.
oh. And then I'm gonna hand it back to. Just okay. Does it at least tell us where it could be? Treasure.
So you, as you open the book and you start flipping through it, as you flip past the first page, you suddenly see this this bright flash of light as it instantly fills this room all the way throughout the chamber, and all of you suddenly feel this extreme coldness as this wave of cold hits you. Everybody go ahead and make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
Gok, what did you
Oh.
do?
My famous last words are gonna be just, I tried to find booze. Gok, 2019. Jesus. Okay.
Ratul.
Dexterity saving throw or
Dexterity save.
Ratul does not do good with surprise dexterity checks.
Oh, neither does
Right.
Doc when it's right in his face.
It's inverse.
Let me go ahead and roll one for Grybek. Oh, he gets a -1. Ooh, just barely. And we will roll one for Mr. Erky Timbers. Oof. Okay, so everybody who fails this roll takes this full amount of damage. Everybody who passed the roll takes half. Oh my god.
And Ratul's down.
I'm also down, by the way.
Erky Timbers instantly goes down.
I'm gonna go touch each of them in order and cast Cure Wounds.
Do you have enough for that?
I have 3 spells, so I get 3 people. So just give me a second. I'm gonna drop my HP and then.
So everyone else is going to take 11 points of damage.
Ow!
I nearly
What?
wiped the entire part.
You stupid son of a.
I can't hear you, Yin Yang. I'm unconscious.
This is
Just
first. Oh wait, I've got good berries. I'm gonna give each of them a good berry.
Okay.
I'm gonna force feed good berries to each of them.
All right. So you put one berry into the mouth of Ratul as you kind of like work his jaw enough for him to start chewing it up and swallowing some of the paste. Same for Erky Timbers. As he's sitting up against the wall, you're able to get him to swallow enough to kind of come to. And as you go over to Gok, you feel yourself kind of come back to consciousness with Alardro standing over you, just moving your mouth in a chewing motion.
did
Little friend, I help you up.
I get the treasure? Did I get it? Have I
No.
been transported to the world? Through the pages? Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, you found the treasure all right. As you see Grybek kind of like shaking his head, kind of like brushing ice crystals out of his beard.
You cut out a good portion there.
Oh, sorry. You see Grybek kind of over by the wall there, brushing ice crystals out of his beard.
I'm gonna hand out the rest to each. There are 7 of us.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hand everyone another good berry, because that uses all 10 of the ones they created last night.
How much do they give back?
1 HP.
Okay.
Not so before I use any of my spells, I wanted to do that.
Ratul takes the little berry and chews on it as he just glares at Gok.
Also gonna eat mine.
Okay.
I'm half
After
health.
So as you look down, you see this book has landed open, and it seems like the page that it's open to is completely blank. It's about halfway through the book.
Can I flip through some more of the pages?
As you kind of flip through more of the pages,
I was
You
gonna
s-
say, as I go to see him try, I'm gonna kick the book away from him.
well, you do flip through more of the pages before Yin Yang kicks the book away. You see that the rest of them seem to be blank, and then suddenly it's kicked away from your grasp by Yin Yang, glares down at you.
Look, because the trap was already activated, Yin Yang, I just wanted to see if there was a map or something in it. And since the trap already activated, and nobody died, then it seemed like there was a good risk-reward right there.
That's when I'm just gonna lean down and be like, you nearly killed half of us. Your curiosity is not worth other people's lives. Think before you act. Have you not learned this place is dangerous already?
Well, I mean, you know, it was on the way out, and,
I just pick up Gok Sour Gut by the scruff of his little shirt.
Okay. So you feel a massive fist land on your shoulders as you feel yourself hoisted up into the air by your warlock robes, and suddenly you feel yourself spun around as you face the glaring and fierce countenance of Ratul.
hi.
No more books.
But knowledge is power?
I will eat you.
I mean, I wouldn't like that at all.
So you guys did see in that search, and along with this book, you did uncover a couple of what looked to be spell scrolls, kind of tucked into the shelving, and you also found another tome that seemed to be very interesting.
I'm not gonna read the tome.
Uh-oh.
I don't trust you. And I don't want to get on worse.
Who looks most injured? Because I'm looking for people to heal. Who looks the most injured at this point?
Me and Ratul.
With 2 HP.
Urki has 2.
Okay, so I'll go over to Urki and then I'll go over to Ratul and cast. Give me a second.
You do notice that this other tome seems to have some sort of druidic writing on it.
Oh, then before I do that, I'm gonna try and read it and see what it's called.
It says theories on the cycle of life and death.
I do not read that yet.
Okay, does look like it might be worth some money. It's very fancy.
I'm gonna pick up the book and put it into my bag.
Okay.
I just carried Gok like a little puppy out of the room.
I'm a little under half.
I'm gonna go to first Urki and cast Cure.
Okay. Go ahead and cast your spell. While you're doing that, you see Grybek kind of go over and also glaring at Gok. As he's walking by, he actually kind of, intentionally, quote-unquote, unintentionally shoulder checks Gok a little bit while he's like hanging in the air and causes him to spin a little bit in Ratul's grip. As he goes over to the desk, you see him kind of fishing around in the cubby holes there, and you see him actually pull out a sack, and then he reaches in and pulls out another sack and tosses them on the top of the desk. He seems, he seems to
Can
be
I
very annoyed.
perceive that right now?
Yeah, and you're kind of spinning around in Ratul's grip right now, but you see him do this.
Yeah.
You see him kind of.
Understand? No more books, or I will eat you.
Well, those aren't books, those are sacks of stuff.
One of them
Right.
seemed to clink like coins when it landed on the desk. The other one kind of landed with a softer sound.
Gonna yell out, I knew it! I knew there was treasure here! Maybe it wasn't a stupid book, but it was under the desk, of course! Yeah. Ah, that's so stupid! But, since, you know, I helped do the process of elimination, could I have some of that shiny stuff that's in those sacks?
Are you still holding Gok up in the air? Ratul?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, you're currently dangling from Ratul's grasp.
I know, I'm not walking over there,
You're
I'm
just
just
asking?
saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know, I helped with the process of elimination.
See, Grybek kind of glares at you and opens up the one bag. He says, it's gold. It actually seems to be pretty full. I mean, a nice bulging sack. If anyone's taking party loot notes, it is 365 gold pieces.
That's a lot of good money.
That-
Heydays.
That is a lot of money, guys. As he opens up the other one, you see him kind of up, and he opens it up, and gives it a
I got
little
it in there.
shake. He opens it up and gives it a little shake, and you see him actually kind of smile a little bit at this one, and he upturns it onto the desk, and you see 4 agate gems spill out onto the desk.
Okay, now I drop.
Okay.
Also, not set down. I had literally just dropped Gok.
Okay. So you, as you're hanging there, as you see all this gold and your eyes light up at the 4 agate gems, all of a sudden you feel yourself falling towards the ground. As you hit the ground, collapse for a second. Go ahead and roll a dex check.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's just the 18. Wait, no, that's the 16. For some
Okay.
reason I thought
So you land and you kind of like, get your knees bent the right way and you kind of get your hands down on the ground to absorb some of your fall. You kind of stand up again, no problem. Kind of rub your hands together as you start walking towards the agates.
Yeah. It's like, come on. We come out with some treasure here finally. Some big treasure.
Does everybody else think about this?
After what you did, you ain't get no gem.
I helped find it by getting rid of the trap for it. And I believe because of just, my contribution, I should at least get one of those doors. One of those gems.
For your contribution, you're lucky to be conscious.
Well, I mean, I helped out earlier with those vines and for this, but that was a contribution. I feel like we were all, you know, we all had faults at one point, so, you know, potato.
We can deal with this when we're up top. Let's leave
exactly why we're gonna screw the wicked up top.
Okay. So, did you want to grab the gems or something, Red Tool? Is that why you dropped them?
Sorry, my thing powered down. No, just look at them.
Okay. They definitely look like there's some nice agates. They look like they're probably worth about 20 gold pieces each. There's 4 of them. If you get someone to evaluate the druidic tome, you'll find that it's worth 150 gold pieces. Are you going to take the tome that exploded?
No, we are not taking the tome that exploded. Isn't that right, Gok Sour Gut?
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a useless pieces of paper and dead wood and whatever. I'm just looking at the gems. You know, I'm just waving my hand. Yeah. It's useless paper.
See Grybek scoop up the agates and put them back in the sack as he stuffs that into his backpack with a glare at Gok. And then he says,
Did we take the spell scrolls?
"Oh,
That's a good point, actually.
somebody want to check those out?"
Yeah,
I
I'll
will.
check those out.
Okay.
I'll check those out too.
Guess we'll check those out together.
Okay. So you guys are kind of checking them out while he's gathering up the pouches there. You see that one is a spell scroll of entangle, and the other one is a scroll of protection from poison.
Okay. Protection. I have to see if those are on my spell sheet.
Protection from poison, that's for sure.
I'm sure, but I have to see. I'm pretty sure that both of those are on my spell sheet.
Yeah,
Your entangle should be as well.
They both are.
I'll take both of them then.
Okay.
And I'll say, you got the last 2. I'll take these 2.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's probably best.
Okay. So Brasnic seems to want to move on here. He has already walked through the doorway. Seems to be disgusted by Gok Sour Gut's actions here as well.
He's
Yeah,
not
sure.
wrong.
You see Erky kind of wearily walking towards the door. Well, I guess we should move on then. Grybek very grumpily takes the lead.
I follow them.
I follow too.
Actually, I'll put these scrolls into party loot. Actually, sorry.
Don't forget Erky. As you walk into this chamber, Gok, you feel this coldness in the chamber.
Guys, did it get colder in here? What, a freeze spell or something? chill.
Yes, Gok. I've been a secret caster all along, and whenever you feel the chill, it's me using a minor gust counterpoint.
Really? Man, gotta stop doing that, Brasnic. I mean, you know, lying's pretty bad.
Oh, I don't feel anything. Feels fine to me.
Just gonna throw up my hands and walk away from Gok.
Are you sure you're okay, Gok?
Yeah, I don't feel okay. I feel cold.
Well, this is probably because this is where you lost your shadow. Like mental trauma or something.
Wait, do you think that means it's here then?
Why don't you go check behind the statue?
Okay, I'll do that. Might be there. Check behind the statue.
Okay.
See my shadow?
Roll an investigation check. Or perception, I guess. Okay.
I come join you.
I love you. Every week you make this so much fun for me. So
Thank you, Indigo.
yes, of course. So you kind of walk around in Alardro. You're kind of watching. He goes back and he's like, ha, ha. He's kind of looking around, looks up, looks down, kind of looking all around for a shadow. Hello. You see, as he's finally just kind of like walking, or gives up, not seeing his shadow back here, as he starts turning away, you see this movement kind of stretch across the wall a little bit, and you see like this form almost stretch out with this big wide open mouth, like it's going towards Gok.
God damn it, Gok.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna say something I can't.
What do you say anything, Alardro?
Okay. Well, I guess it wasn't here, guys. Maybe I was just, maybe it wasn't here. I guess Brasnic was wrong. And something like that. I don't know.
Flip you the bird.
As soon as Alardro kind of you even start mentioning, or like you is almost to the instant that you see this kind of stretching of the shadow across the wall, it just suddenly disappears again back into the shadow of the statue.
I think you should go back. Your shadow. It looked like your shadow or something was there.
Wait, really? But I checked everywhere. Oh, fuck. Go back over here.
Maybe it was hiding behind you, so you couldn't see it.
You don't see anything, and you don't see anything else happen again, Alardro.
Oh. Must have been wrong. Sorry, Gok.
I think you were seeing things. Probably getting it from Brasnic, Furby. It's fine.
I'm really gonna. Don't stab him.
Wow, that was really weird. Are you sure you're okay?
I mean, I still feel cold, but maybe I'm just getting PTSD or something. I don't know. Bad memories. Although they're not that bad, so I don't know why. I don't know why I'm freaking out.
You're a very strange little goblin. You know that.
I mean, yeah. It's called being a visionary.
You see Grybek actually shoulders past you at this point, Gok. It's kind of a grunt. Time to move on then.
Yeah, okay.
He seems to be unhappy with you.
I'm gonna go by Brasnic and say, I'm sorry, I just couldn't look dumb, Brasnic. We're still good, right?
Okay, so you guys find yourself back in this chamber where everything seems to be kind of growing normally. So you make your way back out into the hallway here. Alright. So, this is the chamber where you guys fought the skeletons.
I did want to bring up a point I was saying, maybe for a point of brevity. If we're just gonna walk out towards the thing, or if we're gonna walk towards where the dragon door, can you just take us there, or are there things on the way that we might run into? Because
Huh?
we cleared it all the way up to here.
Not entirely. There was one
I'm gonna
little...
just trying to remember what was in here.
This is where that
Skeletons.
skeleton fight happened. And there was a different direction, because remember that tiny little chamber that only had room for 4 of you? You came out and you went to the door to the north, but there were other doors to the west and south from there. So, you see Grybek kind of ignoring this room here as he kind of marches past it. You see him disappear through this doorway here.
Which door?
To the south.
Over here.
Oh, there's a door. I can't see it. Is there a door here?
No? Right next to your
Oh,
token?
okay. Oh, I see it. Gotcha.
Okay. So this here is the door that you guys came through. And you went through this door to the north, and that's where you went on your adventures to find the druid. You have not seen what's in here, and then you see another door down the hallway to the south.
I think we should mend up first before we go forward.
Yeah. I'm gonna go touch Ratul and lay my hand on him and say, "Everything's gonna be all right, friend."
I know everything's going to be alright.
And you're going to heal him for 6 points.
Okay. So 6 points back. You see Erky is going to walk over, kind of looking at the party, and says, "Oh, well, I know the guys have been a bit hard on you, but I know you didn't mean to do it." And he heals Gok for 9 points.
Oh, Eric, you don't give him too much sympathy. You haven't been with him long enough. He does it quite frequently.
That is a slanderous lie, Yin Yang.
No
Know
love.
that I've come in useful, and I didn't fall down a flight of stairs. So, ha!
No one said you weren't useful. You're just prone to triggering traps that hurt all of us.
Or just
Exactly.
causing trouble in general.
At least I don't hit my allies all the time.
I mean, you hit 1, 2, so.
Yeah,
That's
I
just-
think you're batting for 4.
Ouch.
I mean,
He's keeping track.
nobody got any permanent injuries.
I still have that
So,
starting
what are-
healing potion. Oh, I've got a starting healing potion. Does anyone else look like they're close to death?
Actually, Erky himself is not looking very healthy, but you see that he is actually going to
I did heal him
himself.
for 4 earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, that
Yeah.
previous cure wounds I cast a little bit up in chat.
Alright, well. He'll take that 4 because he cast a really crappy heal on himself.
I still have the healing potion from the beginning of the journey, so if no one else looks really bad, I'm not feeling really good, so I'm going to take that.
I'm
Okay.
a little just under half is where I'm sitting.
I'm at 5, so I think I'll take it.
Okay. So,
Okay. How much is it again? 2d4 plus 2?
I believe so, sir.
Cool. I'm looking much healthier now.
Okay. So you guys do have a couple doors ahead of you, or you can go back through the Citadel and up the hole through Durin's chamber and all of that stuff. Would you like to check out what's here? And I will remind you. Did you guys read the RP chat that I had posted?
Read some of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was one bit that I had actually forgotten, and that was something I was saving for when Red Tool made his charge. And
No, I saw that.
so there was one little bit of information that I should have given you guys. And that was when he saw that heat organ that was hanging from Red Tool's belt from the fire snake. He had said, "No, my pet, my ally in my fight against the Drake Lords. Long have I cultivated its strength. Forever did it take me to find it a mate. I didn't dare hope for the egg, but indeed they produced one. I assume you have destroyed it as well. Much more than a nuisance you are."
So there's another fire drake or fireling or fireworm. Maybe.
Possibly.
And
I mean, that is highly valuable. This store is a store.
Go ahead and roll that investigation check, sir. It is not locked. And it's not trapped.
I'm gonna go ahead and swing it open.
Okay. So
Mushrooms.
you see
Oh, right. This is where the
luminescent mist blurs the edges of this octagonal chamber. Nodules of glowing fungus dot the stone walls and ceiling, as well as the caps of toadstools, mushrooms, small polyps, puffballs, and lichen. The humid air reeks with rot. And you can see that, similar to the other chamber, there seems to be a lot of scorch marks in this chamber. And you can see that there seem to be holes pockmarking the floor all across this room.
Yep, so I'll just tell the guys, another fungal chamber that's seen some fire
This one does seem to be warmer. Much warmer.
Oh, hey guys, keep quiet, but this is unusually warm in here, so maybe
Anybody else
I'm
want
gonna go
to
ahead
check
and
it out?
take like a long scan to see if I see any movement or anything.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
$13.
Okay. Let's see. The 13. Let's do it this way. You suddenly feel like this presence, almost. And as you turn around, you see this reddish, scaly form rising up out of a hole just behind you. And you see the eyes of this fire snake as it's about to strike out at you. Go ahead and roll a dexterity check. If you roll above a 15, it won't get an auto attack at you.
Nope.
Oof. Okay. All right. Fire snake it is.
Are you gonna make any noise?
Oh hell yeah! No, I mean, there's a shout out.
So it bites out at you for a 13. Does that hit?
Or is it 13 or is it 18?
It's the 18 or the
Yeah.
13. I'm sorry.
Okay, so 13 just barely misses actually.
Okay. So as you turn around just in time, you see this thing as it and it launches its bite attack at you. You're just able to get your shoulder back. You dodge out of the way as you scream out for help. Everybody go ahead and grab your tokens and hit that initiative button.
See what happens when I don't trust my paranoia to doors? I try to overcome my fears and they're just reaffirmed.
All right. Let's see. So, it did not automatically do. Boom. Brasnic. Well, you have a giant red snake right in your face. And it's warm. You feel the heat coming off of this creature.
Cunning action to disengage. Run away. And hold an action for when an ally is within 5 feet of him to chuck a dagger. As I pull out. Yeah, as I pull out a dagger.
Okay.
Ready to.
After it struck at you, it did actually sink down back into the hole and disappear into the floor.
Oh. Yeah, it's okay. So never mind. I don't have to cunning action disengage. I guess since it's not within range anymore.
Yeah. So you can
So-
still have your bonus action for something else.
Is there?
I just gave
How-
it a ninja mask.
Yeah. How high does this mist go?
It seems to be like a floor covering, so probably about 1.5 feet off the ground. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, with advantage. That's fine.
Okay. One more.
Well, that's fine. Yeah,
That's-
as you get over and you kind of take your position, you kind of look over and you see kind of nestled into the fungus, and it almost seems to be like a burned nest of refuse. You see this almost glowing orangish and red. It almost looks like a gem to you, but you can tell that this thing is an egg.
Mine. I use my action to grab it and stuff it into my pack.
It is extremely hot and it burns you when you touch it.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hot foot.
Let's see. For 1 point of damage.
It's still significant with how low health I have right now.
You drop it back to the ground.
Hell no, I'm putting it in my pack. Fuck that shit. If I already got burned, no. It's
Well,
mine.
It's gonna burn the contents of your pack or your pack itself unless you somehow do something with it.
Crap.
Okay. So is that gonna be the end of your turn for now? Or
Shit, I don't know how to hold this thing. Yep, no, that's the end of my turn for now, I guess. Was my action actually picking it up, or is that the interact with objects?
that can be your, that could be your bonus action or.
Alright, so the action is to hold a dagger to attack the enemy when it comes near again.
Indeed. Okay, you guys have found The fire snake's egg. This is why I didn't want to just morph you back to the other place.
Oh, no, I know what I do. Never mind. No,
Alright.
I forgot. A drink from my flask of fire resistance. Fuck you, snake.
Okay.
That's my action.
Okay. So it still will burn material objects, but you could definitely hold it without taking any damage at this point. So as you reach into your pack, as it's kind of burning your flesh, you kind of flip off the lid of the potion with your thumb. As you suck down this potion, suddenly you feel like your hand harden against the flame, and suddenly it doesn't feel this burning presence in your palm anymore.
Oh, so much better.
Okay, so that is going to be the action spent, but you are definitely not going to be taking damage from this burning egg. So there's that. Mr. Multini.
I'm gonna move into the room.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna look around and say, what was it?
The fire snake, and I found the egg, but that bastard's going through some holes in the ground, so be careful.
So I'm gonna move here as my last feat of movement, and knowing the last time we fought the snake, that was quite dangerous. I'm gonna wild shape and back into the bear.
Yes, sir. Perform it is.
Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna drop my torch.
Okay.
Let's see, wild shape. Just so you see it, and then I'll get the bear
Let's
And
pull
then-
out.
a torch. And I will hold my action until I can see if the fire snake gets within 5 feet of me. I'll attack it with my held action.
Okay.
Thank you. Uh-oh.
I just put the torch there.
Laundry deleted stuff on the initial row by deleting this token.
Oh, I can't see through the bear. That's why.
Yep.
It's fine. I can just keep myself on top of the bear, and I'll be fine. You guys will just know that's me.
I thought I fixed the bear token.
It's not working.
Oh. I must not have saved it to the sheet, sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, it is relevant to the fight, though, so let's pull out the torch. So you should see the torchlight now?
Yep.
All right, so. And then you're going to hold. Oh, that was your action, was wall shaping, right?
No, because I am a circle of the moon, I can do it as a bonus action.
Fantastic. You're going to hold your action to attack this thing if it shows itself?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Good plan. All right, that's the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
All right, so Grybek, you see him, I don't know if a forge cleric can actually use a sword, because clerics can't normally use swords, right?
Yes, they can. Clerics can use swords.
Depends on the sword, though. I'm not sure he can use a long sword.
They just have generally proficiency in martial weapons.
Normally, they don't.
Well, let's
for
quickly find out.
forge clerics, I think they do.
All right,
Forge clerics, yeah.
indeed.
Let's see.
So,
I'm gonna get it up.
simple weapons, and then let's go ahead and click the forge cleric, and that is going to tell me with heavy armor and smith's tools.
Oh no, they can't.
Yeah, so he can't use Shatter Spike. I think the only one here that can use Shatter Spike is Ratul. Oh wait, can't warlocks use long swords?
Nope, it's Ratul and that's about it.
You can, can't you?
Nope.
No.
You can use a short sword.
I'm
Good.
short swords, rapiers,
All
and
right.
simple weapons.
So nobody can use Shatter Spike except for the big orc. Interesting. Okay.
Did you take a tool?
What?
Do you have the sword?
Well, you kind of gave it to me to carry, so. Why?
Oh, this was out of character. I was just asking if you
The
held it. 'Cause you're
magic,
one
the
that used
magic
it.
sword Shatter
Oh,
Spike.
I actually don't know who we gave Shadow Spike to carry.
Well, Red Tool's the only one that can use a long sword.
Yeah. So right now, Grybek has the sword. He just can't proficiently wield it.
Okay. Well, he does have his axe, and he is going to charge into the room. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I guess he is going to hold his action to cast a spell if the fire snake shows itself. Ratul.
Oh, hearing things going on badly in there, Ritual enters.
So 15 feet to there.
Oh. This thing again.
And right now you don't see the creature.
Oh, I see. He moves further in and basically he's going to take the dodge action, just so if something tries to come bite his butt.
Okay. Yin Yang.
Alright. I heard him yell out, so. I'll get next to Alardro and pretty much ask, like, what's going on?
The only one that's seen it so far is Brasnic.
No.
Fire snake is somewhere in the holes, buddy.
And Yin Yang,
Oh,
you
boy.
see the same as you saw in the other room. You're the one that noticed this. All the holes in the floor and the burn marks that seem to be around some of the holes. You see that same thing going on in this room, but it's much more riddled with the burn marks across the room.
So does it look like, are they all the same size?
The holes in the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that counts out maybe more than one, but still. I guess I'll just ready my attack act, or my one of my darts. If I see it pop up, I'll tag it.
Okay. Brasnic, go ahead and roll a perception check real quick. Okay, that's good enough. You can tell that this one doesn't seem to be as big as the other one was.
It's a bit smaller than the other one, so maybe less grown, or the mate, male, female. I don't know. Nature's weird. Sometimes the female's bigger, sometimes the male's bigger.
Might be an age thing as well. So, you are just going to hold your action and wait for a beastie? For Yin Yang?
Yeah, I was holding a dart for when it popped up.
Okay. Gok.
I guess I'll see what the heck's going on right now.
Okay. So you could be 20
I don't
feet
know.
to right there. You're at 20 feet.
Oh.
You can't see it. It's got a ninja mask on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see it, so I'm just going to assume then I'm completely fine. But I will move here and ask, like, what's going on in here, guys? I mean, there was a commotion. Something happened.
Okay.
The cold shoulder treatment, I guess.
Everyone's
Well,
mad
but
at the
you're, like,
goblin.
Nothing wrong.
I was gonna say, okay, I guess I'll say it. Fire snake.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Poor Gok.
Yeah.
Poor Gok's
That's-
getting the silent treatment from the whole party.
There's
I'll-
traps. Why don't you look for it?
I'll look for it, but I'm not gonna ready it just to make the distinction. Is it, you know,
What are you looking for? Just the
looking
animal?
for tunnel snakes?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely see the same holes in the floor.
I know they rule, don't they?
Yeah, tunnel snakes rule.
Yeah. I
Alright.
don't
So you're
know.
gonna ready an action in case this thing shows itself?
Yeah, just point it out like there it is.
Alright, what are you gonna do if this thing shows itself?
I'm gonna roll up into a ball and cry. No, that's not actually a real thing. I'm just gonna point at it and say it's over there, guys. Fun with that, because I don't know where it is.
How did Urky not go at 13?
I just came in this. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be my.
Alright. So Urky gets 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. He would have done that at 13. So, I'm ready for anything. At 6. Brasnic. What have you done?
Nothing.
You suddenly hear this hissing shriek of a mother's fury as suddenly this fire snake erupts out of this hole next to you.
I respond with a dagger to the face.
Seeing you holding her baby, she immediately strikes at you. Everybody, if you have a held action and you can reach her from there, roll that attack. Oof.
I missed.
Brasnic, go ahead and make that roll. Grybek. What was Grybek gonna do?
I realized I can't drink the potion. That was my action.
It's true. You are correct about that, my friend. Let's see. Grybek was going to try to cast flame on this thing. So get some good old radiant damage on this bastard. Oof. You see the magic kind of lance down from above in the chamber, kind of from the ceiling. The snake just manages to dodge around the flame as it's coming down. But you see Urky Timber step up, and he too casts magic down from the heavens at this creature. But again, you see it as it just sinuously wraps around the second blast. As it, Gok, go ahead and roll. Or were you gonna do like a Eldritch Blast at this thing, or what was your plan? Gok Sour Gut.
Oh, sorry. I got a message from somebody at work.
Sorry. No, you're fine. Were you gonna Eldritch Bolt this thing if it showed itself?
Oh no, I told you I was just gonna point it and say it's over there, guys. 'Cause I had no idea where this thing was.
Okay.
Just, like,
So
I
you,
can't ready for something that I don't know where it is.
as
you
it
know?
pops up out of the ground, you see the two clerics cast fire down from the ceiling. As it sinuously kind of wraps between the two, it lashes out at Brasnic holding its baby. Oof.
Ha! Your anger clouds your judgment.
It does. It sucks. All right. So, just dancing around the fire, you see it actually kind of crash into the earth next to you, and it kind of like basically, essentially, is prone. And a normal part of its attack routine is to bite and then tail attack and then escape into a tunnel. Since it rolled double ought ones, it is not going to get the tail attack, and it is not going to escape into the tunnel. So everybody is going to get actions on this thing until its turn, which is very important in this fight. So, at the top of the order, the 21.
I have the egg in hand right now.
You have the egg, sir.
Alright, so cunning action disengage. Oh, and actually, wait, no, that's it's too far. And I'll hold my action to chuck a dagger once a friendly is within range. You know what? Never mind. I can't. I just realized what's happening. So yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use my action to dash and get like out the door, maybe. Yeah, no, like, because that was 20 feet. It's 25 feet to get to here.
10, 15, 20, 25 feet to get right outside the doorway.
Yeah, I'm gonna get right outside.
Okay. And you have the egg in hand, sir.
My precious. I leave the group. No kidding.
My precious. Now that, my friends, is a trophy of fire. Okay, so that is Brasnic's turn. Mr. Timbers.
My initiative order got taken out. It was 17. Just letting you know when I deleted my character.
Oh. Well.
Let me. Oh yeah.
Let's
I
do
was gonna
this and make it a 17, my friend. So, Alardro, it is your turn, sir.
Right, I was trying to move around with the torch. I was trying to get the torch disconnected with my character. I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
I got you. The torch is here, and I'm going to make it a part of the map. Unless somebody else says they're
I'm gonna move here. Sorry, my mouse is not working properly right now. So
no, you're fine. The torch is part of the map now, so.
I can hit the snake. There's nothing stopping it, and it's prone.
It's true. So you're going to have
Okay,
advantage.
I'll make my first.
Okay. So 6 points of piercing. So any creature that touches the snake or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet takes 1 to 6 fire damage. So you do take 4 points of damage with your attack, but you do that 6 piercing.
Okay, and I will make my second attack.
It actually seems like it doesn't hurt the creature as much as you thought it should. Oh, hot damn. Okay. Oof. So you do take 6 points of heat damage this time, though. But you seriously claw a huge swath down this creature.
And I'm gonna growl at it.
Okay. It definitely screams out in pain as it's laying there. on the concrete with this giant bear. Your paw is severely burnt though from that second.
I'm gonna make some whimpering noises on top of all that.
Okay. And then you're gonna hold your position there.
Yes.
Okay. Grybek. Is going to charge the creature. Man, it sucks not having his weapon anymore. He got jacked by that. He actually walks up, and you see that he seems to be just kind of fed up with this dungeon, with this situation, with creatures attacking his friends, with things blowing up in your faces. And you see him start chanting a dark, dwarven tone and chant as he reaches out, and you see him place his hand on this creature, and you see his hand start sizzling as his flesh starts burning from touching it, and you see him kind of just kind of growl against the pain. Let's see. As he is going to cast Inflict Wounds. And you see this magical energy flare out from his hand, and you see this bright flash of white and golden light, and you see this creature scream out in pain as this almost lightning-like effect races across its body, and you see it suddenly just splatter into blood across the ground as it is absolutely decimated by this attack. And you see him just kind of stop as he clenches his burned hand. He just says, "Let's leave this place."
Got a few things to work through there, buddy.
Well, this dungeon has taken its toll on each of you in different ways.
No, the guy who's almost died multiple times and was trapped down here for a while, eating rats, has nothing to work through.
Right? Right.
But I got a fire snake egg, and I don't give a shit. So,
Does it look like there's not a value in here other than maybe that? Oh, I guess nobody saw him grab the egg, but does it look like there's anything else in here?
No. It doesn't seem like there's... I mean, you guys can roll... I shouldn't say that. Roll perception checks. Anyone that wants to look around.
Does it look like I can fit through the door in this big of a form, or am I going to be stuck in here if I don't shift out?
You could squeeze through the doorway. You do a scan around. You do over here where the egg was. You find another one of those sapphires, like you had found in the chamber with the bigger fire snake. I believe it was a sapphire. It should be on your notes. Whatever that was, change it from a 2 to a 3. And of course,
Change it from a what to a what?
I believe you found 2 sapphires or some kind of a nice stone. Let me see if it's in the notes.
Are you talking about the ones we found on the rat's nest?
No, the ones you found from the first fire snake in the crevice.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's on my person. That's why it's not in the notes.
Yeah. There were like 2 sapphires or something like that, I think.
Yeah, I've got one of them in my inventory. I'll put the other one in the party notes.
Let's see. Yeah, there was 2 sapphires. They were worth 50 gold pieces each. Now you have 3 of those sapphires worth 50 gold.
Oh, we have an ever glowing candle.
Yeah.
Is that what Yin Yang is carrying? Is that what his torch is?
No, I don't know if you guys ever pulled that thing back out to make use of it.
Okay.
But I mean, you can do that. Just say that's what the torch has been.
Well,
If it's a magical light, that's the cool thing about wizards and magic. So, yeah, the main treasure was definitely the egg, which Brasnic has on his person right at the moment. So you see Grybek kind of turn and make his way back through the doorway. And I think with that, it is 9:20 here, and much later than that on the East Coast. I think we will call it there for the evening. That was a lot of fun. That was fun to go through and get all that treasure done and all that stuff. Get a little more exploration done, a little more character development. Next week, there is that last confrontation to work through with Usdrail and whatever's going on down there, and we should be able to get the rest of what's left in this dungeon done next week. That was a lot of fun to go through and do that that scene with the dragon. I've had that in my mind for a long time, and I've been kind of waiting, looking forward to doing that. So I'm really glad you guys are playing in this game. I'm having a lot of fun working with you guys doing this thing, and I appreciate you guys coming every week and hanging out and telling the story with me. I'm definitely enjoying spending this time with you guys. That being said, I look forward to next week and kind of, putting a cap on this thing. It's been a lot of fun going through this. This has been week 15 going into the Sunless Citadel, so we have really been going after it, and we're about to wrap it up here, so that's pretty awesome. All of that being said, thanks to anyone that may or may not have been watching. I'm not really sure, but, cheers to you. We appreciate you. That being said, everybody take care and have a good week, and we will see you next time on the Fireside Tales. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
See ya.